V double trouble? Are they having a hard time? Are they struggling in the US? Well, they're doing some bit of a shakeup, and maybe it's because it's time for something new. Their CEO of North America has stepped down, apparently of his own Honda Accord. No, wait, free Accord. But in any case, they're trying some new things. They're introducing new models. They're resurrecting brands. Maybe this is an act of desperation, or maybe it's something more exciting. Let's have a chat about that. I'm Brian. Welcome to Futuraza. So we've got this story that dropped within the last week here. Volkswagen names Rivian executive as its North American CEO. Well, great. This is not a big deal. Pablo Di Si stepped down, but the Rivian part is kind of the least interesting bit of his story. If we look over here, I think we can make this a little bigger. So let's take a look at his actual experience. Current president and CEO of Volkswagen Group of North America, LimeWire, interesting. Rivian, okay. Board member, GACC South, okay, but president of Porsche North America. Board member for Metro Atlanta Chamber, very interesting, but Mercedes-Benz, Daimler IG, and Porsche before. So this guy has the chops, I guess you could say. Is it really time for them to do something more exciting? Perhaps, I guess it is. Volkswagen wants to introduce another brand in the US. And no, it's not Scout. We heard last week, a couple weeks ago, that the Scout brand is coming back, and it's going to look a lot like Rivian. In fact, so much so that they're partnering with Rivian. Now, I had a chance to talk with someone who works on software for Rivian around the time of the announcement. And I said, so is Rivian going to be giving them the software for the Scout? And he's like, who knows, man? If I knew, I certainly couldn't tell you. I said, is that a hint? And he said, no, if I knew, I couldn't tell you. I think he did know, and he didn't tell me. So good job keeping your job and your privacy. Very disappointing for Brian. Wouldn't have helped, wouldn't have been material to the channel, but this is a thing that's happening. Scout is happening, but Volkswagen wants to bring Cupra over. So the Cupras are pretty good. They're fine. They're reasonably popular in Europe. They're like a slightly different rebadge of Volkswagens. They're sharing a lot of the components and elements, and they are, some of them are, one of them is purely combustion, but they'll have some EVs, they'll have hybrids, and they will have plain old ICE. Okay, well, it's a start, I suppose. What else is Volkswagen Auto Group up to? A very weird initialism that they have selected for their parent company in Europe. Volkswagen's entire lineup of EVs under the ID tag to receive major redesigns inspired by the past. Hey, if you're going to make this your retro design, I am here for it. If you look at some of the things they've done, it looks nice. If you build this, people will buy it. It's familiar. It's comfortable. It's got, I don't know if I would want these exact lines. They're going to be kind of tough in terms of fit and finish quality matching. If you had some overlapping lines, it might be a little better, but that's fine. They're good at that. The GTI, ooh, pretty. And then we've got some other ones that are a little more retro too, things like the ID.Buzz. It's a beautiful, popular car. It's a little too expensive for what it is. It's a little too small for what I would want, but I would still be excited if it was $20,000 cheaper. But it isn't. VW Boss says new Beetle is not a priority, but it could expand the GTI and R lines. See, when they brought back the VW Beetle those many years ago, probably 20 now, it sold like hotcakes. It was not a great car. It was just a budget car with a really big cute factor, a wow factor, and people loved it. And here's the ID.Buzz. You've certainly seen that already. Not as cool as the concept. The concept was, of course, a lot more exciting, flowy, radical. And this is just a minivan that looks a little bit cooler, in my opinion. This black trim down here at the bottom of the front makes the front look a little shorter than it actually is. It's a clever design idea. The two-tone also splits up the height, makes it look not as tall as it is, which is just good design, good quality stuff. So hopefully these are something they would bring back. I mean, why not? Why not make an electric Beetle? If people are going to buy it, let them buy it. So what is going on over at Volkswagen? Why are they freaking out? Well, let's look at their sales chart. Make this a little bigger for you. If we go back to their peak, at one point, not that long ago, they were selling 467,000 cars a year in the US, followed by 4 straight years of decline. Is this following Dieselgate? I'd have to look that up. A couple of recovery years, but they've never gotten back over 400 and really haven't gotten close to it. The numbers before this are a little unreliable, wildly unreliable. So we're just looking at these, but getting down 250, that's a pandemic year for sure. But even these 300s, they're not back to those numbers. They're not back to their pre-pandemic figures. Here you can see it visualized a little cleaner, that big peak. And again, like I said, unreliable data. I wouldn't count any of that as necessarily the gospel, unless you have questions about the gospel, in which case these are the gospel. So this is, if you're trying to get back to these kinds of figures, you've got to do something different. Growth in market share. Yeah, look at, boy, what a big jump they had back in the 50s, right? Going from 0 units to not 0 units is a lot easier to do. My question would be, do retro designs inspire you? Does something like a Wolf Auto inspire you? I may be interviewing the CEO of Wolf Auto, perhaps even tomorrow, if not today. It is a very interesting concept for a company, and I've got a number of questions about their inspiration, their execution to date, and their plans for the future. But we're talking about Volkswagen. Are they in trouble? They've got partnerships with everyone. They partner with no fewer than 3 Chinese companies. They're partnering with Rivian, and they're trying to get in to the US market, both with their Cupra and their Scout. If you've seen the Scouts, what do you think of those? I guess would be my question. And really, do you trust Volkswagen anymore? Do you trust them to do the right thing? These are all questions I would like answers to. And also, are you coming to my Friendsgiving on Friday? Let me know, because I've got to know how much supplies to get. And by supplies, of course, I mean food. How much food do I need? How many people are coming? Let me know. You can message me on my YouTube channel. There's a about page that there's somewhere. My email's there somewhere. Or you can DM me on X. My DMs are open. Yeah. And I know of a couple people from the area who are likely to join. What did I miss? What did I misunderstand? Leave it in them comments below, and stay tuned, stay juicy. I cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots, all that good stuff. And if you want to support the channel, you can always do that. There's a bunch of ways. You can even get a discount on your Tesla if you buy it using my referral code. Wouldn't you like a tiny stack of money to go with your new car? I know I would. Cannot wait to hear from you, clever robots, on the flippity flop.